Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Marshall Experience. Tonight, we are talking about the off season. Right? We are in the midst of combines, drafts, free agencies. We just witnessed a big one tonight. Stephon Diggs goes to the New England Patriots on a 3-year deal. Right? I thought it was a little bit. I thought it was a little bit expensive for coming off an ACL injury, in my personal opinion. But hats off to the Patriots, right? They're spending cash that they got. Spend it if you got it. Like I said, I thought it was a little bit expensive coming off an ACL injury, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about the New England Patriots. We are here to talk about our Philadelphia Eagles. Okay? One of the best draft classes, one of the best draftees, if you will, of recent time, Howie Roseman, has really just hit on almost every single draft pick. I mean, it's insane, and I'll go over them. Honorable mentions, and I'll talk about what each player has done for us and how it's kind of worked out. But when you think about over since 2021, and we've built this core, right? Just what has transpired in Philadelphia just by drafting is magical. Okay. Howie Roseman stays in his bag. He is always in his bag. This is his favorite time of year, and he makes it happen every time. Okay. We have a saying in Philadelphia, and it doesn't necessarily transpire to the Eagles. It was transpired to the 76ers when they drafted Joel Embiid. But trust the process. Okay? Trust the process. And this is why. This is why we trust the process. Is because stuff like this, draft classes like this, draftees like this, they happen. Okay, you don't need to go out and spend $100 million in cap space. You can build your team over years to come. It's exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles have done. Their core, they have drafted. Yes, people have left. Yes, people have gone to other teams. What do we keep doing? Drafting. It's a reoccurring cycle, guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started, right? So, a lot of the information that I took off of defensive players, offensive players, I pulled off of Pro Football Reference. Okay, so this is very, very legit. I'm going to pretty much break down stats, games started, games played, kind of like what the overall grade is for the pick, right? How it kind of worked out. We'll start at the beginning, the oldest to the youngest, right? Okay. In 2021, and I still remember this. This is one of my favorite picks. Okay, that I'll talk about today. Wish this was going last because this would probably be the longest that I talk about it. I vaguely remember in 2021, the Eagles had traded up to draft a wide receiver. We had traded up with Dallas, and we had jumped the New York Giants, who had planned on taking Devontae Smith. There was a viral video, a circulating video of a fan that was doing a recording as such, watching the draft, and his reaction was absolutely priceless. Hatred beyond belief. It really set in for me because in my retrospect, I kind of realized that, wow, we weren't the only people that wanted this player, right? I wanted this player. I wanted Devontae Smith in 2021. I'm so glad that we traded up and got him. Again, we traded with Dallas in the 10th pick. We jumped the New York Giants to get the Slim Reaper, right? Everybody came out and said that he was too skinny. He was never going to last in the NFL. How's that working out for you? He's my best wide receiver too in football. Now after this year, I could argue, again, my best duo is Adams and Nakua, so I can argue that. But before that, T. Higgins, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. Jordan Addison, I'm not arguing with you. Jamison Williams, I'm not arguing with you. It's not a contest, guys. It's not a contest. Devontae Smith is the best wide receiver 2 in football. He could be a wide receiver 1 on half of these teams in the league, more than half. Not to mention, he is, in my personal opinion, and I will stand on this until I get proven otherwise, because the stats prove it. He is the best college wide receiver to ever play the game. Yes, you can throw Chase. Yes, you can throw Justin Jefferson, Corey Davis, right? You can throw these names out there. Did they win a Heisman? Nope. Did they win 2 national championships? Nope. Did Chase and Jefferson also have Burrow for a season? Yep. His best season? Yep. Devontae Smith had what? Oh, now you guys want to love on Jalen Hurts because he had Jalen Hurts and Tua, and come on, guys. Come on. Devontae Smith is the best wide receiver 2 in football. Okay. In 21, his rookie year, he started all 17 games. Played in all 17 games. Little under $1,000, 5 touchdowns. Rookie year. We're not asking for much, right? Now, in 22, fantasy-wise, I cover a lot of fantasy sports here at the Marshall Experience. Fantasy-wise, he was the 9th best wide receiver. 9th best wide receiver in 2022. As a wide receiver, too, in his second year. Sophomore year, right? A lot of these wide receivers take slumps. Not Smith. Not the Slim. Right? Almost 4 yards shy of 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 5 catches shy of 100. I'm still waiting on that 100-catch season. In 23, 16 games played. Little over $1,000. 7 touchdowns. This past year, again, a lot of these wide receivers, we didn't pass to them, guys. We had Saquon. We were a run-first offense. We have Jalen. We have Saquon. We have a top O-line. Why would we not use it? Devontae Smith is now a deep threat in this offense. He is a take the top off guy, as you've seen in the Super Bowl, right? With the dagger. This stat line also proves that. Guys, he only had 68 catches all year. 8 of those were touchdowns for a little over 800 yards. So the sample size is not there this last year because of the catches. But again, the production, the deep threat is definitely still there. He can produce. He's in a run-first offense, guys. If you guys want to look off stats, that's perfectly fine. I do the eye test. I know football. Okay? He's the best wide receiver 2 in football. Moving on. Landon Dickerson in that same year, in the second round. I like to call him Pork Chop. That's my nickname. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's been given to him or not. I call him Pork Chop. He reminds me of Pork Chop off of Toy Story. He does. Love the guy. No, it's not a bad nickname. I just think he's loyal. I think he goes hard in the paint. He just reminds me of Pork Chop. It is what it is.
I think has been a very, very solid pick. Right, has learned from some of the best offensive linemen we've had. Obviously, learned from Jason Kelce for 2 years. Has had Jeff Stoutland his whole career. Right, went to Alabama. I mean, he's not a slouch. He wasn't a slouch in college. 21, he stepped right in, played 95% of the snaps at left guard. Now, we've seen left guard. We've seen a little bit of center from Dickerson, right? He can play center if Juergens were to go down. We've seen that this past postseason when Juergens' back was injured. He only played 14 games. I think at that time, we had Isaac Simbolo, if I'm saying his name right. I think we still had Isaac at guard when he got drafted. So I don't think he started every game. I don't necessarily think he was injured. Maybe he was still dealing with that shoulder injury, but he did fall in the draft because of that shoulder injury. We got to remember that. A lot of these guys that we are drafting are falling because of concerns, whether it's outside of the field, off the field troubles, or injury concerns. A lot of these guys have fallen to us, guys. Leonard Dickerson being one of those. His second year, 2022, sophomore year, 13 penalties, but he got a Pro Bowl. He's now had Pro Bowl in 3 straight years, including this past year, where he only had 2 penalties. He has improved every single year since then. The guy's a phenomenal piece, guys. I think this is a guy that you're going to be looking at an extension here coming soon. I think that he will be one of the solidified Eagles for a long time, kind of like Lane Johnson, kind of like Jordan Mailata, right? Jason Kelce. We don't let a lot of our offensive linemen go because they connect with this. They have the connection with Jeff Stoutland. Moving on to the other side of the trench, right? In 2021, guys, we drafted Milton Williams in the 3rd round, pick 73. Didn't come right in, didn't start right away. 2 games started in 21 and 0 games started in 22. But again, we have rotational pieces on that defensive line, guys. Not everybody starts, and they know that. You're not going to start every game. That doesn't mean you're not going to play, right? Milton Williams has been one of the healthiest defensive linemen I can remember in recent time that has been drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. He only missed 1 game out of the 4 years that he was with us. Phenomenal pick. Phenomenal pick in the 3rd round. Snap percentage, again, 41%, 36%, floating around about 50%, guys, for the average of his career in Philadelphia. Again, they rotate, but that's how they stay healthy. That's how they stay fresh. Fresh legs get to the quarterback. So that kind of rounds out 21. Honorable mentions for that one would be in the 5th round. In 21, we grabbed Kenneth Gainwell, who we just recently let go. He went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Was a backup to Saquon, was a backup to Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift. Kind of never really found himself in the starting role. But again, great backup, was loved in Philadelphia. I hope he does well in Pittsburgh, but, you're not on Philadelphia anymore. So it's everybody but the Eagles, right? Milton, he did go to New England. Right? Went to New England. Dickerson obviously still on the Eagles. Devontae is obviously still on the Eagles. Again, I would be looking for a Dickerson extension coming soon. Whether it is this year or early next year. During the season, I would expect an extension. So now, rolling over to 2022. Okay, rolling over to 2022. Jordan Davis with the 12th pick in the 1st round. His rookie year, he made the all-rookie team. in 2022. He played in 13 games and started 5. Again, you're not going to start every game because, again, when he got drafted, he had Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave. That's before Javon Hargrave left. He had other pieces that were still there. Now, Jordan Davis, we also know, hasn't been the best pass rusher. He's more of a run stopper, right? So it also depends on what team we're playing, okay? The last 2 years, that has changed. He has started and played in all 17 games. But what does that show you? That shows you durability. Durability is a phenomenal trait in the defensive tackle position. When you are that physical on the line of scrimmage, and, again, the guy's massive. We can't ignore that. He's like over 360? We can't ignore it. Somebody that big is going to be hard to toss around, but at the same time, when somebody that big hits the ground, that ground is not necessarily the nicest area to land on a big body like that. They tend to get hurt. But again, very, very durable for Jordan Davis. Good for him. Good for him. It is rumored that they are not going to pick up Jordan Davis's 5th-year option. I have not yet heard an official statement on that. I am kind of iffy if we do or if we don't, right? We let Milton go. Why would we not let Jordan Davis go? There's no reason why we can't keep drafting in the trenches and building around Jalen Carter. But I do see us, if we don't pick up that option, to extend Davis instead and keep the running mates Davis and Carter together, right? I think they're going to try to keep these Georgia boys, Dean, Carter, Davis. I think they're going to try to keep that core together as long as possible. Speaking of core, speaking of pick, Cam Jurgens, Jason Kelce's heir, Jason Kelce's right-hand pick. Howie Roseman gave Jason Kelce all the go on this one. He said, I want you to pick your replacement, and Jason Kelce, you couldn't have done a better job. Cam Jurgens has been absolutely phenomenal, guys. I cannot be more pleased with Cam Jurgens, especially in the postseason last year, watching him battle through those injuries. It reminded me a lot of Jason Kelce. It really did. Now, will he have the career that Jason Kelce had? I'm not sure. Jason Kelce only had 1 Super Bowl, unfortunately, because he lost the second one. Cam Jurgens now lost 1 and has 1. So again, it just depends. But again, Jason Kelce goes down as a legend. What does Cam Jurgens' legacy look like in Philadelphia? I don't know if it's on Jason Kelce level. But again, hell of a player, guys. Hell of a player. In 22, again, Kelce was still there, obviously. He's not going to start. 0 games started. He only saw a 3% snap count, but obviously 0 penalties. On a 3% snap count, I would hope you had zero penalties. Having a 3% snap count, starting 0 games, obviously you're still learning. You're a backup. You're with Jeff Sland. You're Jason Kelce's backup. You're his heir. Right. Boom. Right there. Mogul Podcast says he has the potential. He 100% has the potential. He does. And I think that is bona fide because of Jason Kelce. Right? I don't think Jason Kelce could have done a better job leaving us and walking out that door. I really don't. I don't. In 22, again, 0 games started, 3% snap count. In 23, Jason Kelce started to take a step back, right? 11 games started, 89% snap count. Only 2 penalties. Cam Jurgens is not a big penalty guy, guys. He's really not. Had 4 last year. Had two on each side, 2 holding and 2 false start. Now, as a center, false start, they kind of get a little dicey sometimes because the ball moves. It's it gets a little dicey on the center sometimes, but he's a really good center when it comes to blocking. All 17 games started this past season. Obviously, we did see Dickerson take some snaps at center. We saw Cam come back in. He's a fighter, man. These are farm boys. We breed them here in the Midwest. Over there in Nebraska, he's still playing Nebraska ball in Philadelphia, and that's a beautiful thing to see. So So the Mogul Podcast said same type of exit for Slay and Q. We'll get on to Quinyon Mitchell later, but I can completely agree with that. I think that it was a very mentor state for Slay to say, he's good. I'm out. He's good. Let me pass the torch type deal. And I think that's why Slay wanted to go somewhere else. He wanted to give Q his spotlight, right? Moving on to the third round in 22. Boom. Another Georgia Cat. We like them Georgia Cats, and they've all hit, guys. They've all hit. Nakobe Dean in the third round. In 22, he played all 17 games. Now, he didn't start. He didn't start on the defense. He was a special teams guy. 75% snaps on special teams. 23, he was hurt. He was injured. 4 games started, 5 games played. Now, he started to get into that middle linebacker role. 53% snap share. He had 30 tackles in 5 games. It's not too shabby, right, for your second year? Now, this is the year we talk about. Last year, Nakobe Dean had a breakout season. Let's talk about it for a minute, okay? Last year, had started and played in 15 games. Okay, obviously missed the postseason due to the injury. Played 92% of the snaps. Solid. 128 tackles from the middle linebacker position. There was only 4 people above him on tackles. And his running mate next to him was one of them. If that doesn't tell you how bad, and I'm talking about bad, that defense was last year, if we would have had Nakobe Dean in those playoffs, nobody might have scored. I mean, that's real shit. We had a backup middle linebacker in there, guys, for all our playoffs. Nakobe Dean came out last year, and I think he earned himself a contract, especially if he comes out hot at the beginning of the year next year. Again, this is another guy I see an extension coming. I think him and Bond will be together for the next 3 to 4 years. I think Bond got a 3-year contract. I think that's enough for me. I mean, they have proved that they can get the job done, Bond and Dean. So again, this is another one of those guys, injury ridden, right? He was ridden off 3rd round. Wow, why are we not getting Dean? I wanted Dean in the 2nd, guys. When we took Cam Jurgens, I was screaming at the TV. I remember. I said, why are we not taking Nakobe Dean? I didn't trust the process. Howie did. Howie knew what he was doing. Howie still got Nakobe Dean in the 3rd. This is why I've learned to trust the process. This is because I've questioned it in the past. I've had my doubts. I've had my questions, and every single time I get proved wrong. Honorable mention for 2022 would be Grant Calaterra in the 6th round. Right now, we got Dallas Goedert on the trade block. Grant Calaterra is his backup. Could be the starter if Dallas moves. We've made a few tight end moves. Harrison Bryant. I think another cat. I can't remember his name, but it's Grant Calaterra if Dallas Goedert gets moved for sure. When Dallas went down last year, I thought Grant Calaterra filled in pretty decently. But if you watch an Eagles game, I feel like the tight end position is a pretty important position in the Eagles offense, especially in the RPO game. So it'd be interesting to see how they operate that. 2023. Now we're starting to get, I think 2023 was the best draft class for a team that I have seen in 10 years, 15 years. I'd have to go back and see if all time, but I'm just talking about like the longevity and what could possibly happen with this draft class is out of this world, right? Boom. Number one, we trade up to get pick number 9. At this point, I was hoping for Bijan, guys. I was wanting Bijan Robinson. When Atlanta took Bijan Robinson at 8, my heart was crushed. Absolutely crushed. I was devastated. When we took Jalen Carter at 9, it's like an angel had come down and lifted me up. I knew that we got a dog. We got a fucking football player. And let me tell you, we did. It's the next Aaron Donald. I mean, it's you can't tell me that it's not, because it is. The man is that dominant. In 23, he played in 16 games. Again, only started 1. But again, Fletcher Cox still being there, right? Milton's still there. Brandon Graham is still there. We do a rotational piece, right? Just because you don't start the game doesn't mean you don't play, right? Yeah, Mogul Podcast. Jalen at 9 was nuts. Absolutely nuts. If we do a redraft of 2023, he's a top 3 pick. That's crazy. In 2024, this last year, he played in all 16 games. Played in 16 games, missed 1. 15 games started. 84% of the snap share. Now, I did forget to mention in 2023, his rookie year, he was an All-Pro. And he was second runner-up in Defensive Rookie of the Year. I thought he got snubbed. That's a different conversation. I think that I can't remember who won it now. Now I just had a brain fart. Mogul, let me know if you remember who won the Rookie of the Year with the year that Jalen Carter was snubbed. I can't remember who it was. Last year, obviously, it was Jared Verse when Quinion got questionably snubbed, but it wasn't as bad as Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter should have got it. But in 24, again, Pro Bowl. He was an All-Pro for the second time. And he was 12th in Defensive Player of the Year. Not too shabby. For a defensive lineman, it's not too shabby, let me tell you. Especially when you got corners and linebackers usually leading Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, now the Eagles move back up into the first, in the late first, to get his running mate, Nolan Smith Jr. Holy cow. Are you kidding me? I am jumping for joy at this point. I'm geeked. This last draft, we just took Nakobe Dean. Now I'm watching Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. We might as well just call them the Philadelphia Bulldogs, right? All these picks are hitting. Round 1, pick 30, Nolan Smith Jr. Played in all 17 games in 23. Mostly special teams, right? Had 1.5 sacks his rookie year, though. The reason why I wrote down the sacks is because of what he did this last year. I think he maybe should have been in the conversation for comeback player of the year. 24. He started in 10 games. Had a little bit of, I think he was banged up a couple of games, but again, at the beginning of the year, I think we had Bryce Huff, right? We had Brandon Graham. We have a couple edge pieces that were still there. But he played in all 16. He missed one. But he got 6.5 sacks and 42 tackles. It's good production. We'll see what he does this year. Now, this is when I get into the honorable mentions because a lot of these players in 23 haven't really played yet. But watch out. Okay? And Mogul Podcast, he's gonna get me on this one. Okay, he's gonna get me on this one, but that's all right. That's all right. All right, now look, Tyler Steen. Tyler Steen was taken in the third round. He might be our starting right guard come next year. He's been under Jeff Stoutland for 2 years. He might be ready. Next pick was Sidney Brown. If we don't sign another safety, if we don't get a Justin Simmons or draft Malachi Starks or a Nick Inuola, who do we have at safety? It's Sidney Brown. Is he ready? Time will tell. The next pick, who I think is ready, Kelly Ringo. We did sign Adoree Jackson. I do think, however, Adoree Jackson will be the CB2 next to Quinyon Mitchell with Cooper DeJean in the slot. But I think it will be also a battle at CB2. Again, Kelly Ringo has been in this defense for 2 years and under Vic Fangio last year for a full year. Q is not the only one that learned from Slay, guys. So did Cooper. So did Ringo. Okay? We have to trust this process. We have had good mentors. We have good coaching. We have a great organization that knows how to develop players. Trust the process. Our next pick is now our backup quarterback, Tanner McKee, who I think should be the backup quarterback. A lot of people are saying DTR because of the way he fits the offense. I don't think so. I think Tanner McKee has earned that spot. I really do. Lastly, in the 7th round, Moro Ajomo. Okay? Letting Milton Williams go. That might be Milton's replacement. And a lot of people are saying, well, you mean Jordan Davis? No, I don't. Jordan Davis and Milton Williams are two different players. The pass rush is what Jordan Davis is not great at. He's a run stopper. So this is why I put down this stat. Ojimo actually last year had a better pass rate on less attempts than Milton Williams. He had an 18% pass rate on 342 pass rushes, while Williams only had 17% on nearly 450 pass rushes. So a little over 100 more snaps and less percentage, right? It's the same player. Is this why they let Milton walk? Do they see what they have in Ojimo? Do they see what they have in Jalix Hunt? Is that why they let Sweat walk? Is that why they let Milton Williams walk? We have to wait, guys. We have to see. Again, trust the process. So then we go into this last year's draft, where, boy, how he was cooking up. He was cooking up that witch's brew. right? First round. I don't know how this cat fell to us, but I remember it pissed Micah Parsons off so damn bad. Best corner in the draft. Again, if we do a redraft of last year, he's a top 10 pick. Easily. Quinyon Mitchell. I don't know how he fell to the Eagles, but he did. Started and played in 16 games last year. 96% of the snap share. 2024 all-rookie team. Defensive rookie, runner-up. 12 pass deflections and 46 tackles. Now, why I threw those stats in there is because of Cooper DeJean. Because, again, arguably, Cooper DeJean may have had a better season than Quinyon Mitchell. Might call me crazy. Quinyon Mitchell, yes, he was a lockdown corner. Yes, he was a CB2. But Cooper DeJean was all over that field. And that's who the Eagles take in the second round. He was second team All-Pro this last season. Played in 16 games, started in 9. I think he started about week 6. I think it was after the bye week. 63% snap share and 40% on special teams because he's also our kick returner and punt returner. He was 4th in Defensive Rookie of the Year. So 6 pass deflections, half of what Mitchell had. But again, he was a Swiss Army knife, guys. He's all over the field. A forced fumble, 3 fumble recoveries, and 51 tackles in, a game less. At least 7 less starts. So, the snap share is significantly less, but the production is just that little bit more. Cooper might have had a better year, guys. We got some dogs. We got some dogs, let me tell you. Honorable mentions for last year. Outside of that, obviously, again, these guys have not really come into the picture yet. But this next year and the year after, we'll really try to tell. Jalix Hunt, I think, will have a bigger role next year with Josh Sweat leaving. He was taken in the 3rd round last year. Will Shipley, right? I think with us getting A.J. Dillon, I think he kind of sits at the running back 3 level. But I did like what I saw. I would have been okay with Will Shipley being our backup behind Barkley next year. For me, with the way he carried himself in the postseason was enough. But again, A.J. Dillon, I'd rather trust A.J. Dillon. He has the experience. He just, I think he fits the offense better than obviously Will Shipley. But I don't think that Will Shipley is a slouch by any means. I think that he'll kind of be like a Kenneth Gainwell situation. When his contract ends, he'll kind of leave and become a starter somewhere else. Trotter Jr., Jeremiah Trotter Jr., we really don't know what's going to happen with that. Do they extend Dean? What do they do with, Bonds 3 years, so he's locked in. But if they extend out Dean, what do we do with Jeremiah Trotter Jr.? Did we draft him just to make his dad happy? Did we draft him just to make the fans happy? What are we doing with this whole situation? He hasn't really seen a lot of the field. When Nakobe Dean went down last year, I felt like a lot of fans were calling for him in the postseason. Oren Burks got the start. He left in free agency. So now Jeremiah Trotter has definitely stepped up into that role. If Dean were to go down or can't start to begin the season, it is definitely Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s role. So we shall see. Another honorable mention, Johnny Wilson. The reason why I bring that up is because of the tight end issues. I think that the Eagles should explore his big body. I think they should explore him moving to tight end just because of that. And I think it would work well, especially in the red zone. I mean, it doesn't hurt having that third tight end being as big as 6'7". You know, but the point about all this is, guys, is I've reiterated this and I've said this several times. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of the better teams, if not the best teams. I would say Detroit over the last few years have been really good at drafting. But I would say one of the best is the Philadelphia Eagles at drafting and developing players. So if you're a Philadelphia fan out there, if you're a little worried about how the offseason has gone, you're a little worried about the CJ Gardner trade. You're a little worried about all the players that have up and left. Listen to the experience. Listen to the podcast. I'm here to ease your mind. Last week we had talked about the free agent signings of Joshua Uche, and we just recently signed Aziz Al-Jaruri from New York, right? We got 7 Bulldogs on this defense that played together in 2020. Okay? We got a championship defense that played together in 2020. We have to trust the process. Okay? That's the whole point of this is we have to know what we have to have as a GM. We have one of the best GMs in the entirety of the world, guys. Entirety of sports, not just the NFL. He is the best in the NFL, but the entirety of sports. Trust the process. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything, and appreciate everybody tuning in. Give us a follow. TikTok, YouTube. We are also on Twitch. Come join the experience, man. It's not too shabby over here. We're just normal people talking normal sports. We don't talk Eagles all the time, but when we do, we get into it. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. We are, again, sponsored by the Sports Lounge Media right there. Great group of guys. Go give them a follow on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook as well. We are also on Facebook, the Marshall Experience. Other than that, I appreciate everybody. We are sponsored by the Mogul brand, and we appreciate